Alright, hello. Welcome back to I Might Be Wrong MMA. Today's episode is Prospects I Don't Believe In Part 2. You thought it was over? No, there's always some prospects I have to talk shit on. And I never like doing this. I never like talking shit on prospects. I want good prospects coming in. But there's some prospects right now with false hype. And the UFC kind of give them, journeyman. Or like easy matchups. Like favourable matchups towards those fighters. And I'm just not for it because it's false hype, and when they get to an actual good opponent, we've seen what happened to Malcolm Wellmaker, you know? So, a couple of these fighters, you might call me insane, a couple of these fighters you may have not even heard of, but these are just overall my opinion. I don't hate any of these fighters in this video. I love for them to prove me wrong. I would love that. But overall, I just think at some point these guys are gonna lose. Maybe not their next fight, but the fight after that, I think they might lose. Anyway, starting off the list with a big swinger, a big name in the prospect world, and that's Bo Nickal. I've talked a lot of shit about this guy. In fairness, I have been talking shit, and it's been kind of rightfully so. We got fraud checked by Reiner the Ritter. And people are starting to jump back on the bandwagon after Rodolfo Vieira performance. In my predictions video, I talk shit about Bo Nickal. And in that video, I predicted that fight word for word, bar for bar, what actually happened in that fight. And I predicted he's going to get some flashy knockout, maybe a headshot dead. And everyone's going to jump back on the bandwagon. I don't know why I'm struggling to say that. But Rodolfo Vieira, people were hyping him up. He's way past his prime. He's 36. He looked terrible in his last fight. And I said, Bo Nickal, he might get the wrestling off. But if he doesn't, he's just going to light him up with the hands. Because he's just way faster. And that's what happened. Now, it was good technique on the leg kick, and you know he developed an oblique kick at the age of 29. You know, that's I guess impressive. Like he threw an oblique kick, very good. My prediction is he's gonna fight someone else, probably win that fight, and then try get ranked, struggle, give him some favourable matchup, he'll probably win. And then when he gets to the top 10, he will be fraud checked again, and then he most likely either will retire or just do fun charity matches or go back to wrestling. Who knows? But Bo Nickal, you're back right now, but your time's coming, buddy. And speaking of Bo Nickal, I'm moving on to someone who's been calling out Bo Nickal as of recently, and that man's name is Cersei. I always get nervous when I say his name. It's very. I get very nervous. I pray I don't mispronounce it. Anyway, Cersei. He is, in my opinion, I know I said Bo Nickal's very overrated. This is the most overrated prospect in UFC today. I honest to God think this guy genuinely sucks. I'm being honest. He's not terrible. But he's like slightly above a UFC jobber level. He's Cody Brundage level, in my opinion. And I know he's young, he has time to improve. That could prove me wrong. He's time to improve. He's 24 years old, I think. He could be older, could be younger. But I think he's 24. He has time to improve. He has a lot of time to improve. But the most likely scenario is he's going to be thrown in there in probably about a year's time. With like a top 10, top 15 opponent. Maybe a favourable matchup, but they want to give him Bo Nickal right now. I don't think that fight will be made, but if it does, if that fight does get made, Bo Nickal's going to make him look like a jobber. I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to be real. And if I'm saying Bo Nickal is going to make you look like a jobber, you're a jobber. And I don't mean, he's very talented. He's very talented. Could probably whoop everyone from PFL. PFL World Champion. But UFC level, he's nowhere close. Right now, he's nowhere close. And I hope he proves me wrong. Because he has a lot of hype, has potential to be a superstar. But I've seen, I've seen all the like clips everyone's hyped about. Like, look at this knockout he got the Contender Series. He was losing that fight beforehand. Then he made his debut, got rocked, lost the round against an absolute nobody from a weight division below. Then fought Eric McConaughey, who was coming off a quote-unquote win. We all, like, I'm pretty sure 99% of people who watched that fight thought Cody Brundage won that fight. So yeah, he struggled with a guy who's coming off a loss to Cody Brundage. You know? A short notice Cody Brundage. I'm just going to say, not impressive. I think this guy, he's young, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He has time to improve, but I think if they throw him in too quickly, he will get starched because his defense is just not there. He gets hit way too much. If they give him like a guy with like good knockout power, he's gonna get flatlined, and Bo Nickal is gonna style on him. Anyway, moving on to some contender series guys you might have not have heard of, and I'm gonna start with a kind of, you know, he's a good fighter, but there's a screaming weakness about him, and I'm talking about Marwan Rahiki. Now, he's not 1-0. He's definitely more than 10 fights into his career, but he's that new. The UFC website doesn't even have a proper thing for him. This guy, I'm gonna be honest, he has no chin. Now, they might prove me wrong. They might give him a pillow puncher in his first fight, and he might like take like a load of punches from that. But if they give him someone that hits hard, he is going to get flatlined. He doesn't have like a, you know when Mike Tyson was working out his neck so like his head wouldn't rattle back and forth? This guy has the skinniest neck I've ever seen. And yeah, his brain must be going like a fucking ping pong ball just in his brain. Or in his skull, sorry. I think this guy is way too chinny. Very good technically. Shitty jiu-jitsu. He's kind of terrible on the ground. But great stand-up. But he just is, like, if he gets tapped by someone with decent power, it's over. You know? He's going to get slimed out by, who's in featherweight? He's going to get slimed out by Kevin Vlahos. And I really hope I'm wrong. Maybe it was just like his opponent that night just had, you know, Francis Ngannou power. Maybe I'm wrong. But right now it seems to me that Rahiki is way too chinny. Was that bear? I don't know. That's that. Okay. I'm going to move on. Stephen Asplund. He's not even on the website. I looked for about an hour. He's not on the website. His Contender Series fight was a couple months ago. He's still not on the website. He's a fight lined up. He's still not on the website. Absolutely amazing. Stephen Concrete Asplund. What can I say about his fights? I'm gonna be honest. Jiggle physics. I'm just kidding. I'm fucking around. No, but this guy is he's coming off one of the fastest knockouts in UFC Contender Series history. I'm having brain farts here, I don't know why. He is coming off a really quick knockout against a questionable opponent, but still impressive nonetheless. But I'm going to be honest, I've seen the footage, I've looked back, this guy does not impress me whatsoever. I think he was meant to lose the Contender Series fight, and he got kind of a fluky knockout. I think they're giving him a favourable matchup. And by the way, after his fight, this kind of weirded me. He I don't know if this was a threat, a request, or a demand, but he wanted to suck Dana's toes, which is, I don't know about that, you know. It's like, and he started licking his fingers. It's like, relax, buddy. Anyway, his next fight is in the Apex. It may get graphic if Dana is there, but I think this guy, once he gets like an actually decent heavyweight, the matchup they gave him, it's a guy coming off a loss to Junior Tafa by slimed out KO. So that really puts in perspective what kind of opponent he's fighting. So I think he'll win that fight barely, probably not as impressively as his Contender Series. Maybe he will slime him out. Maybe he is on the level of Junior Tafa. But I can see after this win they give him like a Justin Tafa, something like that. Anyway, that's been the video, guys. I've really no more prospects to shit on. If you guys have any requests for videos, put them down in the comments below. I'm open for requests. I'm running out of content. It's predictions and recaps, and I forgot to do a recap this week. But I just wanted to make this video. Let me know what you thought of it. Do you agree if I shat on these fighters a bit too much? Have I not shat on them enough? Please let me know. And by the way, I'm saying shit. For anyone that doesn't understand my accent, I'm saying shit. You know, like shit, man. I have a very strong accent. I apologize. Anyway, that's about it. See you guys.